Hi again, friends. So if you know me, you know that I use my reels to do introspection, right? I use my reels on my Instagram feed and Facebook feed to see if I am in alignment with being the type of person I want to be, right? If I watch a reel and it says something and it kind of strikes my heart, I'm like, why is this hurting me? Why is this triggering me? And if it's something that I don't like about myself and it's something that triggers me, then I tend to fix it as soon as possible, trying to find a way to get into the habit of fixing it as soon as possible. I saw a few reels where people are saying, oh, I don't like it here and I can't stand this person and all that stuff. And the person asked, why don't you leave? And they was like, right? Meaning that they were happy in that position, right? They don't want to leave. I don't know if anybody else saw those reels, but I saw them. And I was like, why don't you just leave here if it's not really something that you want to be a part of? If it's not really a place that you want to be. And if it's not really serving your purposes or ambitions or your life or making you happy, why are you still here, right? And that's for me, being in this 5-year hiatus. Being in this 5-year hiatus, being where I am in life. And the main reason that came to me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm here because I don't want to see this again. I ran away from a lot of things, a lot of time at various times in my life. And I thought by removing myself from the environment meant that I can just completely forget about it. But a lot of the environment was still in me. As in, a lot of the criticisms, a lot of the hardness, a lot of the ways in which my family or my family members would have seen me as a child or a young person. A lot of the criticisms that came with me, a lot of them trying to break my spirit or break my soul to try to make me more of a sheep than a leader. I think a lot of that actually showed up in certain spaces. So I became a people pleaser for years. I literally shut down. I stopped advocating for myself. I stopped communicating very well. I started to let people just take advantage. And I just didn't say much. I just wouldn't speak about certain things. When certain things became super uncomfortable, when it wasn't really serving me, I just quietly just went away. And I kept on saying the same thing over and over and over again within my relationships. And I think that me not speaking about it, me not addressing the situation, me not saying, listen, this is not working for me, it doesn't help me, because it keeps on showing up in my relationships, in my dating life, in my family life, in my work life. Things keep on showing up. And because they keep on showing up, I don't feel as if I'm in the place that I'm supposed to be in, right? And because I don't want to see this again, I don't want to hear criticisms, constant criticisms. I don't want to be treated like crap by anyone I'm in a relationship with. I don't want to be lied to by a significant other. I don't want to be taken advantage of or exploited by any employer or mentee ever again. And I've been doing that up until 2026, I think it was, when I finally said enough. Right? I'm now 31, going on 32 this year, thank God. Hopefully I'll get there. But literally, I don't want to see this again. I don't want this to be a part of my story. I certainly don't want my children to have to endure any aspect of anything that I would have endured. Because it's not based on health. It's not a healthy way to live. It's not based on a healthy environment. It's not based on anything that's very useful to success or life or anything that's needful, or just not anything that feeds your spirit. And so, yeah, that's why. So until I get all of this out of my system, until I actually fight the version of myself that I don't want to be anymore, and become the version of myself that I actually want to be, the only way I can do that is in this environment. I can't do this in any other environment, because if I go in any other environment carrying the same type of mindsets, carrying the same type of belief systems, carrying the same type of criticisms or thought processes about certain things and certain people, I'm gonna mess it up again. It makes no sense going in those places until I've dealt with myself and dealt with my past and dealt with all the horrible things that have happened to me, dealt with my trauma. Let's figure this out yesterday, how I carry certain things from a space of unhealthiness to a space of health. Yesterday, I was speaking to a former high school member, and she posted a picture, and it was a picture based on my wonderful high school. I won't call it name, but I'm always happy to hear from anybody in my high school doing wonderful things. So she posted a picture, and I kind of mistakenly, I thought she superimposed herself on the picture. I thought she was a part of that group when we graduated, and I didn't know. But I remember some facts about her when she was in high school. And I was like, I didn't know you were this. I was like, I didn't think you were this. She was like, no, I didn't. She was like, this is a picture from recently. And I said, you know what? Sorry. Now, what had happened in this particular situation was that I had spoken to one of my family members about this young lady, and I used her for inspiration because she is an inspiration. And so, what my family members actually do, they try to discredit every aspect of your personality. With me, they try to discredit everything that I do. And I find myself having to consistently over-explain myself or say why I do certain things and just give explanations for everything that I do because they don't trust anybody or anything with regards to their family. And if anything looks inconsistent, in their mind, that's what it is. Their perception overrides everything that is possible or plausible in the real world. Whatever it is that they perceive it as is the truth. And that's how they ruin relationships. But I can't tell them that, right? And so I found myself in a space where I knew the truth. And because of that interaction that I would have had with my family members, mind you, they would have questioned every aspect of that inspirational story that I would have told somebody else in my family about this young lady. And to the point where I would be over-explaining myself and second-guessing myself and gaslighting myself, doing the work for them on my own. I completely brought that negative experience into a positive space that I would consider a positive space, because literally I started reeling with the young lady, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's how it's done. Because they don't trust, because they don't listen, because their perceptions override every aspect of their lives. They ruin relationships because what it is that they believe it actually is versus what it is that they know it actually is, or whatever it is the truth is, right? And it's not just them, it's everybody. Everybody does it from time to time. Everybody creates a story in their head about everybody, right? One instance, for example, is all that you need for someone, especially in my environments, with people who I've actually interacted with, to discredit everything that you can say. One. And you don't get another chance, right? And so once I saw that, I was like, okay, great. You know why you're here. You know why you're doing what you're doing, because you don't want to see this again. You want to be able to notice the red flags. You want to be able to see the red flags before they even come to fruition. With regards to your dating life, with regards to your relationship life. You want to see the narcissistic behavior. You want to see the psychological behavior. You want to see the love bombing. Because whether you like it or not, and I know a lot of people don't like it, whatever it is that you experience in your childhood as love, a lot of your family members have already programmed in your mind that that's what love is. I will repeat it. Whatever it is that you see as love, it's already programmed in your mind by your family members that that's what love is. So if love bombing is love for you, that's what you're going to entertain in men. If disrespect and lack of care is love for you, that's what you're going to entertain. With me, I don't like those things. I don't like love bombing. I like consistency. I love a consistent man. I love consistency. I love a dependable man. I love fidelity. I love men who know how to keep it in their pants when they're not around me. Right? I love men who are respectful. I love those kinds of men, and I am more than willing to acquiesce to whatever, as long as he's those things. But a lot of these men aren't it. They aren't that. And you can't tell them that, right? So for me, I am still here because I'm still learning a lot of aspects about myself and about my upbringing that I don't want to see again. I don't enjoy a lot of the things. I didn't enjoy a lot of the behaviors. I didn't enjoy a lot of the issues. I didn't enjoy the death threats whenever it is that I spoke out against abuse. I still don't enjoy it because I'm still getting them. You were supposed to suffer in silence in this family. And not just in this family, in any environment that I would have gone in after I would have left my country. You're supposed to suffer in silence. You're supposed to take the abuse. I don't know, that's not how I want to live. That's simply not how I want to live. I want to live from a space of health and peace and joy and happiness. I want to live in a space that actually is good for my spirit. That's just how I want to live. And so you get to decide how you want to live. You get to decide if you want to live in the manner in which your parents raised you to live. You get to decide whether or not you want to remain in the spaces and the mindset that your parents raised you in. Or you can change it. You can change it. Find healthy people. Find healthy places. Go on YouTube. Go on Instagram. There's inspiration literally everywhere. We are literally in the information age. You can decide to live in whatever manner you want to live in. You don't have to remain in the spaces that you're in. You don't have to remain in the mental state that you're in. You get to decide. But you also have to be aware that you have been programmed for years to accept poor treatment. But me, I had to accept the fact that I was programmed to be treated poorly. Accept that I was programmed to be bullied and mistreated and expected to behave and act and produce in very deleterious and negative environments. And I just choose not to live that way anymore. I know some places are that way, are inherently that way, but some places are not. Right? Of course you have the office politics. Of course you have negative days sometimes, but every day consistently negative and dark, every day consistently having to deal with narcissistic people who have a horrible family life just because no one really loved them at home and they didn't deal with their own stuff. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody. But I don't know. I'm not a specialist here, but I decided differently. And so I have to unlearn everything that I was taught. So yeah, I hope this helps. Love, life, and peace.